Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sari and you are watching my knitting podcast videos. And today I changed my filming setup to our bedroom because it's already the last day of October and the daylight is getting really, the daylight hours here in Finland are really short, and especially today it's grey and cloudy and quite rainy, so it's quite dark outside already, even though it's only something like 2 p.m. So I realized that our living room is really dark and there wasn't enough light to film anything on our sofa where I usually film my videos. So now I'm sitting on our bed in our bedroom and filming this video from here. But let's see how this setup goes. The most important thing is that I get to film something. And today I was going to show you what I've been working on. I have some finished objects next to me, as well as things I'm currently knitting, and two yarns that I haven't casted on yet that I wanted to show you and talk to you about my upcoming plans for new projects. If you are new to my channel, just a quick introduction here at the beginning. My name is Sari and I'm a knitwear designer from Finland, and I started out as an indie designer. I've been designing for something like 5 years, or publishing my patterns for about 5 years, and knitting and designing for longer than that. And about 2 years ago, a bit less than 2 years ago, I started as a professional knitwear designer for a Finnish yarn company called Novita, and at the moment I'm working for Novita from 8 to 4, so that's like my day job, and then I design knitwear under my own name during the evenings and weekends. So my whole life is pretty much circling around knitwear and knitwear design, and I always joke that if I sit, I knit, so I knit a lot, but I think that's enough of an introduction. I'm so glad that you found my channel and welcome here. But I could actually start by showing what I'm working on at the moment. I'm knitting here all the time. Like I said, when I sit, I knit. I have a hard time just sitting still, so I always need to have something to do. This is a collar that I'm working on, and it's actually I'm using the same yarn as the pullover that I'm wearing. So these are the leftover yarns from this pullover that I'm wearing. This is the Siena pullover. I will talk about it a bit later, so it might be a bit hard to see, but this was a request from my little sister. She actually had a birthday yesterday, and this is going to be her birthday present. She sent me a message that she wanted to have like this turtleneck collar that everybody has at the moment, you know, the 2 pieces here at the front and a collar in the middle. And she's always joking that she has a slightly large head. don't really see it. She looks completely normal. You couldn't guess that she has a larger than normal head. But I remember when we were teenagers and we tried to go shopping clothes at H&M or something like that, and she wanted to buy a turtleneck sweater and she couldn't fit her head through the neck. And I thought it was really hilarious, and I had totally forgotten about that incident until a few weeks ago when she said that she can't find a ready-made like bib collar kind of thing that she could fit her head through, and she asked if I could make one for her because she wanted to have one. So I said that okay, I can make one for you, and if I can always borrow it if I need it for photos. So I'm also working on a pattern for this color at the same time. So it's a very simple color. I just try to quickly knit at the end of the row so I can show you this one. So the yarn that I'm using, like I said, it's the leftover yarns from this pullover that I'm wearing, and it's a worsted weight yarn from the Rerum Natura, and this is the Gilliatt base, and the colorway is called Caramel. And I bought this yarn a couple of years ago, or a year ago I think, from Berlin, from Yarn Over Berlin, a bit over a year ago, a year and a half, something like that. And this is one of my favorite yarns. This is such a gorgeous, it's an ethical yarn produced in France. This is French Merino yarn, and or French and Portuguese Merino, and it's beautiful. It's quite rustic compared to other Merino yarns, but it's still I love how bouncy it is, if you can see. It's really nice, and I really like the texture. So it shows all the cables and different stitch patterns really well, and it's not like some of like if you have some like Merino single yarns, they are like really smooth and drapey. So this isn't. So as you can see, if I puff this sleeve, it like really stays exactly how I put it. So it's not that drapey. So I think I love it because it holds its form really well. So this is the yarn that I'm using. Like I said, this is the colorway Caramel, and this is what the color looks like. So this is the front of the color. Sorry, you can't really see it now because of the same colored pullover at the bottom. It's like, can you see? I have to go a bit higher, still a bit higher here. So it's up to my something like my navel about, and looks like this. And working on the back piece at the moment, so it's going to be exactly as long on the back as on the front. So this is what I've been making, so I still have to work all the way down to the bottom. So I'm working the body piece in like one piece, and then I'm going to pick the color from this neck opening, and I'm going to work it in the round. And I think this neck opening is big enough for even for my sister's head. So there's going to be like a ribbed turtleneck collar here in between these pieces. And then I was going to add little eye cords, something like this long on the sides, so you can tie them in place. So if you wear it under a jacket, so it stays in place. But you can also open it. So either way. So this is what I've been working on. I really like it. I probably will make a similar one for myself. I'm really into black at the moment, so I probably will make a black color for myself. Let's see. It's quite a quick knit, and every other row is just like knit, and on the wrong side it's knit 2 and purl 2, so it's super easy. I really like how it looks like, and I have a I-cord edging here at the side, so it gives it like a finished look and a nice edge. So this is what I'm working for my sister. I'm calling it Hugo. I don't know where I got the name from, but I just started to call it a Hugo color, so that's the name of it at the moment. Might still change, but I'm calling it Hugo. And this pullover that I'm wearing, it's something that I started working on I think a year ago in May, and this was actually a submission. It was for Line magazine, and it wasn't selected for that magazine, but I really liked this idea and this design, and I decided to knit it anyway. And I think I finished it quite exactly 1 year ago. It was something like this time of the year that I finished it, and I've been wearing it a lot. And I think I was going to write the pattern, but a year ago we moved from Vaasa to Helsinki, and there were so many changes in our life at the point that just didn't have the time or the mental capacity to write this pattern. And then it was spring, and turtlenecks like this, or high collars like this, and this is quite thick yarn. I thought that nobody wants to knit anything like this during the spring and during the summer, so I kind of like forgot about it until the weather started to turn colder again, and then I realized that I still really like this sweater. It's so nice to wear, and I really like these little details like this zigzag pattern here, and this pearl pattern that almost looks like it's like tiny bubbles, even though it's just knit and pearl stitches, so it's super easy. And I wrote the pattern, and actually yesterday evening I got it back from my tech editor Jesslyn, so I just have to make a few corrections based on her edits, and I think I will put out the call for test knitters tomorrow for this one. So if you are interested in knitting the Siena pullover, I will link my Ravelry group where I have all my calls for test knitters below this video, so you can go and check that out. Another pattern that is coming for test knitting very soon is the Odette pullover, and like I said, I have this obsession with black at the moment, but like I said, that the problem with knitting black knits is that they are super hard to photograph, and especially if it's something that you want to make a pattern for, the person who buys the pattern really wants to see how the design looks like and what kind of sleeves there are and how different like construction of it, and you really can't see anything about this, so it's just like a black thing. And so I decided to knit a second sample. I haven't casted it on yet. Oh, I bought really cute labels, as you can see. Put one here. So this I got it from Etsy, so you can order your own clothes labels So I have this my own label here. But anyway, I've been wearing this like almost non-stop. I'm not lying if I say that I'm wearing it at least 3 times every week. So it's my like absolute favorite pullover at the moment, and I really like the construction. It has like this set in sleeve construction that is totally seamless, and it started from the top, and first knitted down to the armholes, and then started again, and the front is worked, and then the body in the round. But I have the pattern ready. I have graded it. I got it back from my tech editor. I have to also make the corrections to that pattern. But because this is not a sample that I can use for pattern photos or for Ravelry, I don't think this really works for Ravelry, because all you can see is like a black sweater. You can't really see anything. Like I said, you can't see any of the details. You don't know what kind of sweater it is. So I bought some yarn for a second Odette, and these are my color choices. So same yarn that I used for the original Odette, knitting for Olive's Merino, and their soft silk mohair, and these are both in the colorway Putty. Here you can see Putty, and same one here. So I'm gonna use these ones so you can really then see all the details of the sweater. And for the black one, I used the same yarn, so knitting for Olive's Merino and their soft silk mohair, and the colorway for the both of those yarns is called Licorice. So the very black colors. What's next? Oh, I finished the Edgar pullover, so it's now totally done. Still haven't woven in all the yarn ends, and also it's unblocked. Can't remember if this was already finished in my previous video, but I haven't done anything about this since the last time I filmed the video, so it's in the totally same condition since it dropped off my needles. But it has these really cool like bell sleeves, volume sleeves, but for the pattern I was thinking about making an alternative for like slim fitted sleeves. So if you don't want to knit like volume bell sleeves, then you can work them in a regular way, and it's like this brioche yoke with brioche increases, and then this row of bubbles here at the bottom. So otherwise very basic pullover, and I will be having to call for test knitters for this one as soon as I finished writing the pattern. I haven't really even started yet, or I have written the one size that I made this in, but I haven't graded it, so it still needs that. And I can't now remember if I mentioned, but the Odette pullover is also coming for test knitting very soon, even though I haven't worked the lighter version yet. But I was thinking that will be one of the test knitters, so at the same time as the test knit is going on, I will be working on my own version, lighter version of the Odette pullover, so that I will be one of the test knitters as well, going through my own pattern. In my previous episode, I was undecided with the Sari pullover, whether I wanted to make it as a raglan pullover or a dropped shoulder. And like I mentioned in my previous episode, my plan was to make it a raglan pullover, but then I started to think about first of all how to write the pattern, and also if it's like pleasurable to write or work, or how nice it is to knit the pattern. And I thought that I think it's easier and nicer to knit if it has the dropped shoulder construction rather than raglan. So I decided to go with that after all. So it looks like this. I blocked the body to see how the cables and lace open up, and I really like how it looks like. So now I'm working on the first sleeve here, and just ran out of yarn, so I need to attach the next skein, and it's going to have like really normal, nothing like volume sleeves or bell sleeves, normal sleeves, and with this bubble pattern. And it also has the same cable, and there's a tiny bit of lace here, as you can see over here. This is called Sade. Sade means rain in Finnish, and all these patterns were inspired by rain falling down, so like little droplets and the patterns that rain makes when it goes down, for example, a window or something like that. So this is how it looks like. Here you can see. And I'm working this in Ritual Dyes Elder base, and the colorway is called Chestnut, and this is a light worsted weight yarn. It's really beautiful yarn. I've been enjoying working with it. It's quite similar to the Gilliatt that I'm using for the color. So, it's also like quite rustic and quite bouncy, so I really like working with this. And as you can see, all the cables look really nice and crisp on this base. So the stitch definition is really amazing. And this was a collaboration with Ritual Dyes. They reached out and asked if I wanted to try this new base, and of course I wanted to do that. So this is I received this yarn for this design. What else do I have? Oh, of course, this one. I just finished the second shoulder, actually this one, this morning. This is my Adelita vest or sleeveless top, whatever you want to call it. And this is the front piece, and it has this V-shaped neck. And just today in the morning after finishing this one, I posted a few questions on my Instagram, my Insta stories, and I was asking for your opinions about this design. So this has a similar knit and pearl pattern here on the sides as I have used for this Siena pullover, and then it has this cable pattern and another like this crisscross smaller cable pattern here on the sides. And as you can see, the V-neck is created so that this main cable pattern starts expanding to the sides, and this smaller the decrease line goes actually over here, so over this like smaller cable pattern. And for the back, I was thinking whether to skip the cable pattern totally and just work the back using this pearl, knit and pearl pattern like I have here on the sides, or if I would use the same cable pattern on the back side, whether to make a similar V shape on the back and fill this part here with, for example, with this pattern, so that there won't be a V-neck on the back as well, but here would be something else in this area, or whether the cable pattern would just continue straight up to the top. But if I would do that, then joining the shoulders, the cables wouldn't match here, so on the back side this would continue and be here, and there would also only be a very small amount of this cable here on the side, and I'm not sure if I like that, like so that the cable gets broken here on the shoulder, like mismatched. So that's something that I'm still wondering a bit. And since I showed this to you on Instagram this morning, I got a few messages asking me about the construction and why I decided to work this in pieces rather than in the round. And I was actually planning to talk about that in today's episode. So as you can see, this is started from the bottom and worked up to the shoulders, and then I'm going to work the back separately in a different piece, and I put the stitches here on hold for the back. I'm going to join it with a 3 needle bind off, so there won't be a seam here at the top. But there were a couple of reasons why I decided to work this in pieces rather than in the round. I know it's kind of like how unfashionable maybe at the moment. I think everybody wants to knit everything seamless and top down, and nobody wants to work them from bottom up, and in pieces everybody hates seaming at the moment. I don't like to seam. It takes a lot of time. It's hard. It's really hard to get a nice seam that well, looks neat and isn't bulging and so on. So it's also you have to know the technique, and you have to concentrate on it, and it always takes so much longer than I anticipate. But anyway, I decided to do this with seams. First of all, for me, trying to design patterns with if you have a lot of lace and a lot of cables and so on, it is easier to start from the bottom up, and it's easier for people to decrease over the shoulders and the neckline in the established pattern, cable pattern or lace pattern, than to increase in the pattern when you don't really know how it's going to look like. So if I were to work something like that, this from the bottom up, I would have to do so many more charts for this cable pattern, so that it's easier to see where it starts going. It's so much easier to decrease in the cable pattern, and especially for different sizes I might have to, especially if it's a raglan construction, I would have to work different charts for each side, because the raglan seams starts at a different part of the pattern. This is something that happened for me with the poet pullover and the ballad pullover, because the pattern repeat happens differently, the increase happens differently, so I might have to work different charts for each size, so that you can see how it starts going and what happens where. But if you're working the other way around, like I said, it's easier to decrease when the pattern is already established, rather than trying to increase into an unknown territory, into something that isn't there yet. So you have to visualize much more and be much more confident in your knitting, and if you want to increase rather than decrease. Another reason why I decided to work the Adelita vest in this construction is that for me, for a vest, if you're going to wear it over, for example, a white colored shirt, the shirt is quite crisp, and if you put it inside your trousers, it's going to have this kind of bulk here, so it's going to it's not like a very slim t-shirt that goes smoothly inside your jeans and just stays there, but it's going to have like this volume. And if you have a ripped edging at the bottom and you put it over that bulging shirt, it's going to look like, it's going to make you, for example, or I feel it's going to make me look fat, and it's going to like bring out the bulge of the shirt even more, and it's going, I don't think it looks nice, especially it doesn't look nice on me, for and I didn't want that. And so I first started to think that, okay, I'm going to add a splitted hem, so I'm going to work the ribbing separately and then join in the round here at the beginning of the main pattern. But at the time that I reached the end of the rib part, I started to think that, okay, but I'm not quite sure how long I want the split to be, so maybe I want it to be up to here, so I only want it to be seamed for 5 centimeters or so, and the rest of it can be open, especially if I want to wear this over like this kind of like oversized boyfriend shirt, and that it's not tucked in, but it's going to be like loose, and I want the vest to be over it, so I want it to be totally loose, and I don't want it to like scrunch the shirt down. And then I decided that, okay, I'm going to work it in pieces, so that I can decide later on how long I want the split to be, so I can try it on over the kind of shirts that I want to use, and I can see how it looks like and what's my preference at that point. Also, adding seams adds like strength and like construction to the design. So if you don't have any seams, it's going to be really loose and stretchy. The seam will kind of like remove that stretchiness. So if you have the side seams, it's going to give the design some structure, so it will stay better. It will keep its form better, and it will give it like strength and durability. And especially if you're wearing this vest over a shirt, and you want it to like, so that it doesn't start like going however I don't know the words, but you want it to like stay down and stay in place, then I think adding seams is a really good thing. And I think seaming has a really bad reputation for some reason at the moment. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I said that I don't like seaming, and I said that it takes time, and it's hard. It's another technique that you need to learn, but there are really good tutorials, and it's a skill that once you learn it and you take the time to do it properly, then even seamed pieces can look really nice. And I think well, knitting in general, knitting takes time. It's not quick, and we don't do it because we want to do something that is quickly done. And well, if you just like kind of accept that the seaming part is just another step in the process, then I think it's quite nice and it's quite enjoyable. Of course, I kind of like love the idea of totally seamless knits, that when you bind off that last stitch, then it's ready for wearing. And if you still have to start seaming it, it takes time and it takes a lot of concentration. But for this design, for example, 2 seams, these are not that long. It doesn't take that long, especially if you leave the ribbing. So it's only this part that needs to be seamed. And like I said, there are really good tutorials for mattress stitch, and it does give as a piece the construction that it is, because otherwise this is quite stretchy, and I think it will look better with seams. However, I was thinking for the pattern that I will add at least a few rows of instructions on how to do this without the seams. So if you want to knit it in the round instead, I will add that in the pattern as well, so you have the option of not doing the seams. But I really think that this design will benefit from the sleeves. Seams are not for if you want to do a really drapey, loose-fitting, flowy design for a knitted project, then it's better to do it seamlessly. But if you want to have a tailored and like this kind of a bit more structure, then I think it's better to have a few seams here and there to add durability and structure to the design. After I have finished the back, like I said, I will use 3 needle bind off for the shoulders, and then I will try it on and start seaming the sides and see how far along, how far down I want the seam to continue, but at least something like this. And after that I will still pick stitches along this neckline and add a few rows of ribbing here, and also a few rows of ribbing over the sleeve opening. I really love this design, and I was already thinking that this will also look really nice as a pullover. So I might be making an V-neck Adelita pullover after this one. same design, but adding sleeves. Let's see. But for this one, I was using West Yorkshire Spinners Illustrious. So this is the Illustrious Naturals, and this is the Old Lace colorway. So this is 70% Falkland wool and 30% British alpaca. And I mentioned that I work for the young company called Novita, and Novita is actually West Yorkshire Spinners like sister company, and Novita and West Yorkshire Spinners do a lot of research and product development and also wool sourcing together. And at the beginning of November, so I think on Monday, the Novita Knits website will also start selling the West Yorkshire Spinners yarns. So that's why I've been using West Yorkshire Spinners yarns for a couple of my designs. So the Edgar pullover is worked in West Yorkshire Spinners, Bluefaced Leicester Aran, and this is the ecru colorway. And this Adelita vest is worked in West Yorkshire Spinners Illustrious, because I work for the yarn company, then I have to get acquainted with the West Yorkshire Spinners yarns, because that's what I'm selling at my day job. I'm also going to publish a new pattern today, and it's the Cowl socks. I'm actually wearing them at the moment. I've been wearing them a lot during the past few weeks after they were ready from my needles. They are super comfy. They are worked in DK weight yarn, so they're quite quick to knit, and you can see they are quite long, so I added some extra length to them. And there's an option of wearing the cuffs folded double. Okay, Luna is here. I was wondering when she was going to come to my video again, and she's usually making an appearance in every single video that I make. So here she is now, and I'm releasing the sock pattern. So Cowl, they're called Cowl socks. I'm releasing the sock pattern today, and it's actually, because it's the last day of October, it's also the last day of Socktober, so it's a perfect time to release this pattern. So I think Luna is trying to tell me that it's her time now. She's here on my lap. And I think it's pretty much everything I was going to talk to you about in this video. Just one more yarn that I was going to show you. I just went and picked this up from the post office earlier today, and it's the Beta Knit and their alpaca brush yarn, because I wanted to have something quick and simple on my needles, so I'm going to use it for like an easy pullover. You can see here, this is the brandy colorway, so it's really nice, quite fluffy yarn, but it's something that I'm going to be casting on next, because I need something totally mindless on my needles, something easy and mindless, so I think this is perfect for that. But that's kind of everything I wanted to tell you in this video. And I'm also going to film another video after this, because the boys went to play football. Theo has his first football match today, and my husband went with him, so I have a little time for myself. So I'm going to film another video after this, and I will be talking about the whole discussion that I started, which has been turning into different discussions all the time. So I have been talking about basic patterns and whether basic patterns should be free and so on. So that's another discussion that I still want to continue, and I will film a little video about that after this one. But yeah, that's everything for this video, and Luna and I will be saying bye to you for now.